Hello everybody, so for the first time in a while I decided to buy a Call of Duty game on release, with the one question being Modern Warfare 2022. So the video is going to be underlining and highlighting what I enjoyed about the game, what would make it better, and some issues that can be fixed. So let's get on with the video. Should be noted there will be spoilers, but of course you already know that. Anyways, let's move on. So, sticking to the usual route, I'll be starting with the multiplayer, and I have to say that I am pleasantly surprised with the outcome of the multiplayer. The gameplay is honestly quite unique, the guns are really satisfying, and each engagement has its own important feel rather than the simple die and respawn nature of the faster paced Call of Duty games. The multiplayer for MW2 is aiming for a more grounded, clunky and tactical approach, which while it's something I don't normally like, it was pretty well executed in Modern Warfare 2. The maps feel a bit random and not bound or leashed to the campaign levels, which may or may not be a good thing, but it can sometimes change the entire mood of the overall game from tactical to holy shit, there is a Formula 1 track. That aside, I'd like to note that there are some bugs that are bordering between entertaining and honestly infuriating. The first bug lets you fly across the map simply by applying a bipod to a sniper and then proning on a vehicle. This bug is fun. However, there's an entirely different bug which allows players to use kill streaks not once, but twice. Sounds promising in practice, but it is truly horrifying having to deal with two VTOLs while you're already getting hammered by people using the Lockman. Another thing about this game is that there is a surprising dip in the amount of campers in the game, despite the game having a noticeably different and slower pace in comparison to its predecessors. I'd rate this multiplayer 9 out of 10, pretty good, but it has some pretty disappointing bugs. So the campaign for Modern Warfare 2 is honestly quite interesting. It not only dips into the war on terrorism, but also gives a nod into the war on drugs. The game makes reference to Al-Qatal, a terrorist group from Modern Warfare 2019, who now have a much bigger army with much more power in Urzikstan, as well as the Mexican drug cartel, which is a pretty interesting take for a Call of Duty game. The levels in the campaign are honestly quite interesting and well thought out, while also introducing a bit of extra realism and things to account for in the gameplay. For example, rather than just being able to run and gun your way through the deck of a range-drenched courier ship, you have to account for sliding obstacles this time. The campaign also has a level dedicated showing the player how defenseless you can be without a team or a weapon, but this changes throughout the progression of the level. The antagonists of the campaign are Valeria Garza, as well as Philip Graves and Hassan Zayani. As for the protagonists, we're reintroduced to the lovable Ghost and Soap, as well as Price and Gaz. The campaign seems to have a more difficult approach to engagement, as the enemy AI now have armor plates and the weapons are much more powerful. I'd rate this campaign a handy 10 out of 10, it is really enjoyable. For once, I actually played the SPEC-OPS, but this segment is still going to be pretty short. The SPEC-OPS in Modern Warfare 2022 is pretty fun and introduces some pretty interesting levels and tasks, but still maintains the same horde-like combat that we see in the older SPEC-OPS modes. As I said, this segment is going to be really short, so I leave the SPEC-OPS mode with an 8.5 out of 10. So with all this in mind, I'd have to say that Modern Warfare 2022 may be one of their best Call of Duties since Black Ops 3. My overall rating of the game seems to be an average 9.5 out of 10, as the game is brimming with content and is extremely fun to play. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.